All right, are we on? Hey! What's up? Chronicler 9 here. We are working on some more of this book. Because, oh my gosh, this book just doesn't end. It just keeps going. We still got Cyberpunk Station on our radio today. Actually, is this as big as it usually is? I like letting people see it. It's pretty good. Alright, I love what they do. And still shout out Cyberpunk Station. Thank you so much for letting us use your wonderful music. So great. They dropped another one. This is the one that they dropped, I think, about 3 days ago. So love it. Their stuff is amazing. Please go visit and give them some love. They're always linked in my description. How is everybody today? It has been a hectic week. There's so much that I needed to get done. I think remember last week I told you guys I was gonna do I was gonna get all of these outlines finished. I obviously did not do that. It takes so much longer to do this than you think it does. But I did manage to get so there's a couple things that I did different. I added one more page. So for this, let's see. So for this one, I scooched him over. We did that on the last stream. I scooched him over and made this a bigger, like a whole like 1-page image. And then the image that was gonna be down here, do I have it here. So if you turn that off for a minute. So you see, like I had like the outline or whatever. I had outline of a whole section right up here that I decided to take out and move to a different page. So, and I think it works better with how I'm gonna put the words on. So it's this page here now hits different. So now this one's gonna be like a full spread. Before this had the doll on this side here and had all of this kind of, I think this was just almost like a blank page. Like it was just gonna be like the end. Like I had these words and these words over on the previous page, and I feel like I was doing too much. So I separated it. And now I have like a fuller spread. So now you can see the child walk away, and like I'm gonna have like his cape flowing out like that. And then I'm thinking I'm gonna put maybe all of the cast on this page because this is like the last page. So so like I have like the scientist and the, I don't remember which one this was. I think the philosopher, and then like I don't know, Mr. Charisma over here. But then I also have like 2 more people, so I'm gonna probably maybe put them here and here. Maybe. I don't know where I want to put them. Like I don't want to make it too full. I kind of want this page to be mainly just the child walking away and the mom with her baby. Like I think that's gonna flow really well. And then the very last page is just the image of the doll, but it's gonna be the doll in black and white. Also, 2 likes already. You guys just came in and just liked the video. Thank you. Y'all are sweet. That's not happened before. Y'all are amazing. Benadryl, you're here. Hi. Were you able to hear the doll at the end of the stream? Like I know you probably had to leave a little bit earlier. But were you able to catch I actually read it. I read it at the end. I didn't know when I was gonna read it. Sorry, I was all over the place last week. My ADD was so bad last week. I'm so sorry. But how you doing, Benadryl? What's up? Dude, I'm like so hyped. I feel like I have the right layout now. Like I feel like this layout is better, adding another page, but that does add another page of work for me. This is the one that I'm working on right now. This is just a reference. So I took her, because this her, so I have to have both her and the other girl with her. So the other girl with her coming in here. And so I used this as reference so I wouldn't have to keep flipping back between them while I draw this one. Rin, hi! Welcome to the stream! I don't know if you haven't been to one of the ChillCreate streams, have you? Welcome. Ahmed! Wow, there are people in chat, like, at the beginning of my stream. Hi! Welcome. We're getting work done today. And we have Cyberpunk Station on. His beats are great. Let me know if the volume is too loud or soft, because I really like his beat, and it's kind of gonna jam with me today. I'm here for it. Y'all with these pre-likes before I even started the stream, you guys are like hyping me up today. Thank you. Well, welcome. Basically, the gist of what we do is we just work on our own individual stuff. But honestly, I personally find it really hard to stay motivated in my day-to-day. So, and then Mondays usually feel like they would feel like they drag, because you know, you just getting out of the my Sunday is my chill day. I don't work at all on Sunday at all. But then you come out of that and you have to get work done. And I'm like, you know what? Let's have good vibes to start my week. So that's kind of what instigated this, but it became a thing. So, so people we come here to get motivated. We come here to get like inspired to actually get stuff done. And lately I've been kind of giving reveals about my stories. So I've been battling whether I'm going to actually, how much I'm going to tell you. Body doubling. Yeah. But I've been pondering telling you guys more about my books. The reason being is that this stream isn't really that popular, and that's a good thing, because that means I could tell you guys some kind of more secret-y things, and I wouldn't feel like it's gonna become like I'll be able to get my book published before anybody else really does anything stupid with my stuff, because they don't know me. I do have all of my stuff copyrighted, but I've been hesitant to say a lot of the things that happen in the story, because I don't want people stealing my ideas, and I know that they're really awesome. That's not me just like tooting my horn. I've been working on this since I was 7. I've been making like these are fully fleshed out worlds. And yeah, I've been working on this for a while. But I wanted to share with you guys what's been going on, because last week, reading the doll last week, there was like a lot of genuine questions and interest in the child, and who is Michael, by the way, my titular character for the novels, the Michael's Child books. I wanted to actually answer those, and I was like, oh, how much do I answer? How much do I say? And I kind of think, if you guys want to hear it, I'm actually happy to give you guys a little bit of the reveals. But what I'm working on today, today, I need to get, this, I want to get this one outlined, and then we have, let's see, we have one more. Oh, I did this outline. I got this one done. I'm proud of myself. I did stuff this week. I did. So Michael about to put the hurt on this king. Got that done. Yeah. And then we have the doll image, which is really cute. And then yeah, then we got everything organized. So everything is there. Sorry, this week has just been. Whew. I think my ADD kind of goes skyrockets when I start this. Stream. I'll find a level. Give me a minute. What are you guys working on? Are you guys bringing your projects today, or y'all just chilling with like some hot chocolate? Because I'm also here for that energy. Hot chocolate sounds good, actually. Oh my gosh. Like I'm over here with my Nature's Promise organic black cherry flavored sparkling water. I sound like, what is it? Is that I don't remember. What's hipster? Is hipster the type of person who... No, they go against the grain. I don't know if this is against the grain. It just sounds like I'm doing a lot on this. And I'm really not. It's just I wanted a canned water. And it was the only canned water that came in a pack for a good price. So that's what I did. I don't like bottled water anymore. Okay, so focus prawn. Okay, I got most of this outline. Finish this. It is. It's a lot. There's a lot going on here. Excuse me. Proper presentation. Nature's Promise organic black cherry flavored sparkling water made with organic natural flavor, no sugar added. For your taste buds. A lot going on there. No artificial flavors, no GMO ingredients, and no prohibited synthetic ingredients. In compliance with the USDA National Organic Federation regulations. It sounds like I'm being really extra. Has everybody here already heard the story of the doll? Because if you haven't, I'm actually down to read it one more time. Alma's already heard it twice. But I'm down to read it one more time just because I need to zero in on my space. Working on your... Oh, your space characters. My brain went all the way back to, like, early 2000s, and I was like, you're working on MySpace? Your space characters. Gurren Lagann! Okay, look, I'll read it for you because I want to. And besides, we should have one reading of it at the beginning of a stream at least once instead of, like, all the way at the end. Because, like, it was all the way at the end last stream because I was way too ADD to know what I was doing that day. And I don't think Benadryl got to hear it. And Benadryl's come to, like, a lot of these. And I feel really bad about that because it's a really good story. Let's put these in some kind of chronological order. There's that. What's this one? That's what that is. I'm gonna get the key pictures that I want up. Yeah. I like this. Alright, let's get the first picture up too, just because like, there's a couple pictures I want to make sure I have for you guys. And I've decided which ones are really good ones for the reading of this book. Oh yeah, and just flip to them. It's easier to read off of my one screen page than try to flip between all of them. Plus, Krita kind of starts having a problem with me having too many tabs open, and it starts throwing a fit. So I'm not putting all of them up. But yeah. Let's go ahead and read the doll. Go on. If you were here for the, Hollow Knight stream, was it last week? No, it was the week before last. The Go On guy. I will never get that song out of my head. So here's the doll. Pop that up. There it is. Huzzah! Alright, let's go. Let me actually turn my beats down just a little bit. Oh, actually, maybe I could listen to... Should we listen to Zippy Sound first? Zippy Sound also gave us their allowance to listen to their music. And I think their music is great for my story. Zip Sound. Let's do... Should I do Shadow Kingdom? Let's do Shadow Kingdom. Which one? Shadow Kingdom or Path? I like all of these. Let's do Shadow Kingdom. Alright. Alright, it's just gonna be in the background though. Alright, I'll pop you up here. Look at me trying to set a whole mood like I'm doing a thing. Alright, sorry. Let's start. The doll! In a time of kings and feuding lands, a very young king sought counselors to grow his kingdom. He had every business owner, acclaimed craftsman, philosopher, scientist, and charismatic speaker called to his court. They each brought words of knowledge and experience from their lives, and offered gifts to the king in hopes of becoming part of his permanent council. But also, into his courts came the child. Amidst all the jewels, armor, weapons, and perfumes, the child brought a single scroll. "Greetings, king," said the child. "I come with wisdom from the heavens. I have no need for a place among your counselors, and I do not call any place in this world my true home. However, I have loved ones in your kingdom, and I wish for them to have a good king. On this scroll is written 5 principles. If you heed them, both you and your kingdom will be blessed, and all that is yours will expand." The king inquired about the child, and learned that the child had indeed gathered himself all the way to the next page. There we go, excuse me. Had indeed gathered an esteemed reputation, traveling for many years and never aging. So, he accepted the like Baby Yoda. I love that. So he accepted the child. So he accepted the scroll, and the child went on his way. This is what the scroll said: a king's wealth is measured by his generosity. If even the poorest among you has ready means to find food and shelter, the goodness of your land will be known, and your bounty will increase. Accept no bribes to shut your eyes or ears from injustice. Deal impartially with nobles and peasants alike, so that the wisdom of your ways will be known and your people will increase. Make learning available to any citizens who would rise for it, regardless of bloodline. The more talent and skills your citizens have, the better quality of life your land will have. Keep one wife and treasure her, and your home will be more prosperous than the man with 7 wives, and your children will respect you. And the 5th one: delight in the laughter of your people. If sorrow remains a long time anywhere in your kingdom, make an honest effort to lift it. Encourage your people, and they will encourage you. The king read the list of principles, then asked his newly appointed council what they thought. It's this page. Obviously written by a child, said the businessman. If you give all your money away, how are you to maintain any influence with other kingdoms? Wars cost, you know. If all men were equivalent, the craftsman said, then there would not be ugly or beautiful. There would not be talented and untalented. The very hearts themselves do not regard everyone equally. It is better to preserve those who have more to offer the kingdom. It is a lovely dream, voiced the philosopher, but if you let everyone learn anything, you could raise up people who would work against you. Knowledge is power, after all. Better to keep power in the hands of those you trust. Having only one wife makes no sense for a king, quipped the charismatic man. What if something were to happen to one of your heirs, or to your wife? You always need backup, preferably as many as possible. Logically, laughter should not be so important, said the scientist. Emotions in general are fleeting. Leave such details to carnivals and drinks. A king has to make many decisions that his people may not like, but they are necessary. So, the king listened to the words of his counselors and left the scroll to gather dust. Time passed. The young king grew, and when 3 years had passed, the child returned and entered into the king's court. Greetings, king, said the child. How fares your kingdom? The king replied, beautifully. See my palace? It shines better than it ever had. We have much gold and plenty of food. That is remarkable, king, said the child. I have just come from the outer borders. There's a village there that has had a very poor harvest for 2 years. Perhaps some of your abundance can be shared with them. The king frowned. So you only came here to give a negative report? Do you not see how grand my kingdom is? The villages at the outer edges barely contribute anything, even when they have a good harvest. Why provide for the lazy and unproductive? When other kings visit, they only go by the main roads, and don't visit the peasantry. They see this palace and marvel. They respect me more than they did my father. When the child tried again to get the king to offer assistance, the king tired of him and turned him away. Go back to your travels, and when you hear the good words other kings say about me, you'll return with a better eye. I don't remember which the next one is. Is this one? Oh, okay. So that night, half the king's grain and half the king's treasury had vanished. He searched every corner of the kingdom, but no one had it. Suspecting the child, the king sent out warriors to bring him in, but the child could find none. The child could not be found. I don't know what words I said, but I said them with gusto. He turned his anger toward the village that the child had mentioned, but realized that there were too many along the outer reaches that could fit its description, and the child had never called the village by name. So he increased the taxes on all povertous outer regions, then gave up the search so that word would not get out, to the other kingdoms that his storehouses had been raided. A couple years passed, and the king continued to rule. The child visited the king's courts again. "Greetings, king," said the child. "How fares your kingdom?" Still angry at the child for his previous visit, the king scoffed. "Come to steal from my treasury again, have you?" "Hello, James. And he's your winner of the new world heavyweight champion ring." Hey, welcome to the chat. We are reading The Doll. And I am in the second segment of maybe 5. So, still angry at the child for have you come to steal treasury again? The child shook his head. "If anything was stolen from your treasury, I assure you, my hands have no need for it. I'm a traveler and a sage. I live on whatever nature provides me. And as you requested, I listened to the other kings with regard to you." "And?" asked the king, happily. "How do they regard me?" The king is highly neurotic. and how do they regard me? "It is said that you rule like iron, and your jailhouses are full." "That they are," agreed the king. "But I am also merciful. If they can contribute properly to the kingdom, I release them." "And how do they contribute to the kingdom while they are in the jailhouses?" asked the child. "If they are worth anything at all to their families, the family pays for their release. And if no one can pay, then they are not worth anything at all, obviously." The child pondered these words, then made an offer. "Perhaps some of your teachers can go to the jailhouses and find those with potential for training. That way, they are not simply wasting your space there and can become contributors again." But the king and his advisors looked appalled. "Knowledge is power. Why should I hand power over to the useless and the criminal?" "Not everyone in your jailhouse is a criminal. Many are there only because they are poor. Being poor is a crime, or it may as well be. If you have no other uses, I'd rather you take space in the cell than have land that could be otherwise used for something productive. Give the land to those who can properly pay their taxes." "I see," said the child, and he left the king's court. That year, many who had been jailed were That year, many who had been jailed were released, with tabs paid in full, yet no one knew where the money had come from. When the king had the families investigated, they said that the money had been left to them by an unknown generous person. Angered, and suspecting the child had something to do with this, the king doubled the prices on the heads of every person in the jail. Still, many more were released that year, and the poor villages welcomed home with jubilation. They scraped together whatever they could and threw a party for those who had returned to them. They sang songs and they danced. But this enraged the king even more, so that he outlawed unsanctioned festivities and declared them to be as punishable as treason. Only those who had earned his graces were allowed to take part in the festivals he directed. He hired minstrels and dancers for his courts, and architects to make grand entertainment areas. He also allowed the towns who contributed the most to purchase festival permits. But the towns who contributed least he mocked and said, "If you actually earn it and make yourselves useful, then you can buy a permit. But until you are worth something, work. Work until you finally become something worth celebrating." And the other towns mocked them as well. Time passed, and the king decided to take a third bride. Oh, that's this page. Not that page. That page. And the king decided to take a third bride. Where am I? There I am. He ordered that all single women of his kingdom be appraised, and the most beautiful be brought to his courts. A certain man from one of the poorest villages had a very beautiful daughter, but even though he had a lot to worry about for money. He refused to let her go. Instead, he hid her away. But for her father's sake, the girl left in the middle of the night, washed and dressed herself up, then hurried to the main streets. One of the king's messengers saw her and agreed with her beauty, so he took her to the courts. When the king saw her, he decided to take her as his next bride, and soon she bore him a daughter. The king doted on her because she was beautiful, but the other queens despised her for taking his attention. They treated both her and her daughter badly, so that the third queen kept only to her chambers for her daughter's safety. She also allowed no one else to tend to her daughter. But when the child returned again, and his presence was announced to the king, the third queen took her baby daughter and hurried to join the court. She was not allowed further in, so she stayed against the wall to watch the proceedings. When the other queens heard of this, they too took their children and came to stand against the wall of the meeting court. "I grow weary of your visits, child," said the king. But the child spoke as if he had not heard him. "Greetings, king. How fares this kingdom?" The king scowled. "It fares well, no thanks to you. What is your agenda? I know your craftiness. You come here to ruin and slander me, but here I am, powerful, rich, capable, and influential. I'm sure you've seen how they celebrate me in the streets, and throw parties for how well I treat my worthy citizens. No other king has been as grand as I have." As he spoke, the daughter in his third wife's arms began to cry. Her mother tried to soothe her, but to no avail. When the child saw her and the baby, he stared for a long time, so that the king felt embarrassed by the lack of acknowledgement for his own person. Offended, the king yelled, "Shut that baby up, woman, or leave the courts!" But the child turned sharply to the king and said, "You do it!" Surprised by being given such a direct order, and by how much authority the child spoke with, the king had to gather his wits again. "What did you say?" "King," said the child, his gaze steady, "at every turn you have disappointed me. You have abused your people and caused many to hate themselves. You have divided the kingdom using mockery and fear. But if you can do this one thing, if you can make that child laugh, or if you can even make her smile, I give you my word that I will never visit your courts again for as long as you live, and I will speak well of you to other kings. However, if you cannot bring happiness to even your own child, I will have to teach you how, for the sake of the ones I love." Looking to his advisors, they all shook their heads. The child had a reputation, after all. It would be better to just go along for now. Surely making his daughter smile would be so hard a task, and the payoff of having the child's good word would benefit the kingdom. So, the king had the woman come stand before him. "Give me the child," he directed, and the woman handed her daughter over to him. I don't have that picture up. That's fine. As soon as she was out of her mother's arms, the girl cried louder. The king tried to hush her, attempted to soothe her, but instead of calming, the baby screamed more. Enraged, the king stood from his chair and all but threw the girl back into her mother's arms and yelled, "You need to do better with this baby. She is impossible. You should be able to train her." Suddenly, the child was standing directly beside the king. Startled, the king took a step back. The child reached out and grabbed the king's wrist. "You need a softer touch, king," said the child. And as the words formed, the air around the king's body rippled. His skin became softer and began to shrink. What is... Shh. No loud voices, said the child. And as the child's voice met his ears, the king's mouth shut. Still he shrank, and the child never released his arm. His body became lighter, and his legs shrunk up away from the floor. His eyes darted around for help until they could no longer look anywhere but straight in front of him. Within seconds, what once had been a man was now a doll. The doll wore a carnival hat and an outfit of vibrant colors. It appeared to be hand-stitched from soft thread, with cute button eyes and a happy little smile. Tiny bells topped its shoes and a frill decorated its neck. The child held up the plush doll and jingled its little feet in front of the baby in her mother's arms. "Greetings, princess," he said in a soft voice. "Do you like this?" When the girl opened her tearful eyes to see what was jingling, she saw the bright colors and the fun little hat and the little belled feet and laughed. She reached her arms out for it, so the child smiled and gave her the doll. Then the child stepped back and said, "Well now, it seems that even the most useless beings can have value. This is why it is said in Riyadh, heed the warnings or become a puppet." The end. I wanted to actually have this page up. I didn't have it up, but I like this page. I finished the outline for it, so I'm really happy about that. But he's so cute, baby. But what you guys think? And Ahmed, I don't know what is wrong with me. Every time I open a single Souls game I have on my PS4, I die. And then I'm like, F it, I'm gonna play something else. And then I die. And I don't know, I'm sorry. Thank you, Rin. I appreciate it. Yay! I hope Benadryl got to hear it this time. I'm so sorry if you didn't get a chance. But I'm glad you got to hear it. But I wanted to read that today because I actually wanted to talk about it in more depth while I'm doing the work for it. Yay! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. But yeah, I've been working on this for weeks, more or less, because I really don't have a lot of time. Double Trouble, you came! Welcome to the stream. You just missed me reading the story. I'm so sorry. If you want to go back and play it, listen to it. Or it's at the end of my last stream. But it's amazing feel better, but it takes me forever. Oh my gosh, I swear. This thing has been taking... Oh, this thing has taken a long time. The story has actually been done for a long, long, long time. But the... I'm gonna keep that up because I need it. I don't need this one. I don't need this one. I don't need this one. Okay, yeah. No, I just need these two up. When this thing starts to turn yellow, it's using too much of my CPU or whatever. But yeah, so the amount that I have gotten done on this takes more time than people think it takes. And then on top of that, art is not my forte. I do art, and I'm good at art, as far as, like, art is concerned. Like, I do art. Like, I do art. But it's not my favorite thing. It's not like my passion. It's something that I do when when an idea strikes me, and then I go, I want to do this, and then I get it done. But it's just that I wouldn't be able to do it as like commission or like I don't want to do it every day as a profession for other people. It's enough trying to do it just for myself. It's like pulling teeth. There's like a big difference. When it's your passion, you're actually wanting to do all the little itty bitty details and everything. When it's just something like you just need to get it done because my passion's writing. My passion is storytelling. So I'm willing to suffer through getting all the art done to get my darn book out. But it's grueling, and I'm really, really slow. But yeah, I wanted to talk about it because my questions are posed about like thoughts on the king and then thoughts on the child. I'm really curious about it, both initial and then after the story. Like, and this is my 5th book. The 4th one in the Tales of Tavana series that I'll be publishing, but my 5th book that I'll be publishing. But the Tales of Tavana series are all interconnected. Yeah, it's I don't think it's even just about taking it fun out of, I don't even know. Like, I agree with you. But I think, like, for me, it's not even the if it's for money or if it's not, if it's for work or if it's not. It's like being able to organize really, really well, or being able to clean really, really well. And somebody goes, "Oh, you're really good at cleaning and organizing. Do you want to come clean my room?" And you're like, "No." Like, "I'll pay you." And you're like, "I really still no. I really don't want to." That's what that feels like. That's what for me, art feels like a job that I'll do for me. Or when a feeling strikes me, or, you know, like I'll do it for those things. But I don't have the motivation to do it for you. I'm so sorry. It's a lot. It's not, my passion is not this. But I do put my all into everything that I do. Otherworldly vibes, they are in the world of Riyadh, which I will actually spell here for you, because this is part of the lore. Making some new characters in your fictional story? Please let me know! The new events in season. You're in season 14 now of the story you're writing, right, Ahmed? Yes, the immortal sassy being. You are correct. Thank you, Double Trouble. You remember. I need to actually stop talking with my hands so I get this done. This is what I do. I came here to do things. Whatever. We all know I do that. Okay, so we need to get her. But yeah, did your thoughts change on the king versus the child in the, like, from the outset to the end? Like, how you perceived the king at the very, very beginning versus how you perceived the king at the end. Did that change? What were like your initial thoughts on who they were, and like your afterthoughts? Like, maybe I'm gonna think a minute on this, and I'm really curious about that. The child's name, by the way, it's never mentioned in the book, but his name is Michael. True name, Michael. But just wanted to pop that in as a part of our lore, because you guys are here, so you guys get inside lore drops because y'all are here. Season 4 from the sequel of the original. Oh, so the original thing is 13 seasons. Okay, so I thought you were doing like 19 seasons, but I guess that's like the first 13 would be like the trilogy, and then you have the rest, the other of the 19 are gonna be season 4, like episodes 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That's like 7 episodes. Yeah, that sounds like a good season. You're great at creating, Ahmed. I'm sorry if I'm off base on that, but I do like your story. Ahmed is awesome. He creates stories, and he can draw, and he can create prosthetic limbs, apparently, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So Ahmed's really cool, and he's really nice, really kind to people. So we all love Ahmed. Yay, Ahmed, resident vampire, the really cool vampire. So my characters, I'm gonna drop the lore. Gonna make a new character. Yes, by all means. The character growth is themed. Also, it seems like the book sort of commentary on larger issues, inherent worth. Yes, it is. There's a lot going on with it. I'm curious. I'm not going to say exactly my thoughts on it because Ahmed knows. And I think Double Trouble might know. But Rin, the purpose behind this book to you, if you just completely new reader, did not know it was interconnected with a whole bunch of other worlds or a whole bunch of other stories, you just saw this one book, you read it, what would you think the author was trying to convey, or what do you think the author's point in writing the story, and spending way too much time drawing it in a stream, would be? I'm curious to hear your thoughts. There are no wrong answers. I just want to know what you got out of it personally before I talk to that. Alright, so we have this little kid. And do you have long sleeves? You do. You do not. You have, those are long-ish sleeves. Okay, so we're gonna do this. Nope, we're gonna remember how to draw. That's what we're gonna do. I will see chat in just a moment. Let me get this thought down on paper. So that my thought is down on the paper. And there you go. And I will look at chat as soon as I finish drawing this. Give it just a bit. Oh. I have this thing low, don't I? Okay. Nope, I need to remember again how to draw. There we go. Okay, that looks kind of like a child, right? That looks childish. Yeah, that looks like a kid. We're gonna call that a kid. It's a little lopsided, but that's fine. Let's fix that a little bit. Okay, I'm looking at chat now. Looking at chat. Okay. So, season 4, the prequel, 19th season, and the original trilogy. She's not sure how many seasons. That's cool, Ahmed. You keep creating. Like, seriously. I love what you do. And I'm still looking forward to seeing you drop more art up in the Discord, because so looking forward to that. Love what you do. Double Trouble, a new character is going to be a ghost and a girl who can see ghosts. That's going to be fun. If you've drawn anything from them, please drop them in the Discord. I want to see. Just saw an enemy in Elden Ring moonwalking. I hope that happens on my stream when I finally play Elden Ring. I swear that sounds awesome. Alright, Rian. I feel like it would definitely speak to those that struggle with meeting social expectations and kind of fitting in that box. I actually thought the doll part was creepy. Yeah. But I like the point. It's comforting to me, who struggles with keeping up in the face of it, in the race of life. Interesting. That is a perspective I haven't heard. Discord? Oh, yeah, look, in my Discord, there is arts and all of the stuff. Yes. Drop stuff, Discord, everything. If you're asking if you can put stuff in the Discord, I put stuff in Discord, I'm confused, sorry. I do put things in Discord, a lot. Oh, I keep reading this whole sentence wrong 50 times. That's fine. Let me give you the Discord link one more time. Sorry about that. I do have the Discord linked in the description, but I do have it also here. Sorry. I kept reading that entire sentence incorrectly 50 times. I don't know how I did that. It's great. I love me. Great. Sorry. Oh, I kept seeing in the Discord, text me the art in the Discord. My brain kept reading it that way over and over and over again. It just was not getting past me. But yeah, so that actually is something. That's meeting social expectations, fitting into the box. That's interesting. I love that. That's a takeaway for you from this, because you're the first person to mention that, which I think is great that you mentioned it. Because that's part of, yes, that's legitimately part of the development in the story. But for me, it's regards to the king and what he was trying to accomplish. And so a little bit of insight about the king. He actually took the throne when he was like 14. So he was very young. And so his father didn't have enough other children to take the throne. So that's like kind of part of why he got counselors that were like, you need to get many wives, you need to have many kids. He also got counselors that shared his father's vision. His father was pretty hard, and a difficult man. He was an iron-fisted type man, and so the child wanted to surpass his father because he knew that there were issues in the kingdom. Or not the child, the king. Sorry, I gotta say my words correctly because they all have different names, segments. But as a child's king, as a 14-year-old king, he had a lot of pressure on him to overcome the things that his father missed, or didn't quite accomplish the way he needed to. There were wars and stuff that were happening in the kingdom and stuff like that. So this young king gets counselors, right? I don't like. I think okay, hang on, we're gonna fix that. So he calls for these counselors, and one of the people that come into the courts is the child, who is Michael. Michael is the son of a star and a human. I will not explain how that's possible. It is, but the star, the star's name was Elu. Let me help out a little bit. Michael, son of Star, Elu, and human, Rose. So, yeah, he had big shoes to fill. The kid king. He did. He had big shoes to fill. And Michael is, at this point in the story, he's about 62, I think. He looks like he is 8, 9. Looks like, I guess he looks more like he's like 9, 10, 9-ish, 10-ish. In this time, 9. I'm gonna go with 9. But he's lived a while. And he's been on the surface of Riyadh since he was like 20-ish, some. I think that's about right. I gotta get I can't quote me entirely on this. This is true canon, but I don't have my timeline on me right now. And just like you can like mix up your history, your natural history on this planet, I can mix up the history of events on Riyadh as well. I've been in it a long time, but I might get things the exact incorrect. But he was I think he was in his 20s when he finally got to the world of Riyadh and started to explore it. he was on a mission to save his mother. Actually, his mother is trapped in a dimension, in an ethereal dimension, during this time. And so he's been traveling the world, but in doing so, he was told that he needed to develop his wisdom by... I won't tell you that part, but he was told he needed to develop his wisdom. So to prove his wisdom, he would guide kings and nations, and he would guide them well. People who listened to him actually had flourishing countries. But not everybody listened to him, and this king was one of them that didn't. There was a family, one of his very first best friend that he made on the world of Riyadh. His best friend grew up and had a daughter, and that daughter is the third queen that the king took, and that basically sealed the king's fate because Michael was willing to fight tooth and nail to protect her. And so when he saw her in the court and the baby, he was like, oh, it's on. That was when he said, hello, king, how fares this kingdom? Not how fares your kingdom. He'd already taken the kingdom from the king by that point. Like, he was like, this it. That's it, last straw. You took this girl, who I consider to be like my granddaughter. You took her for your wife. You mistreating her. You're yelling at her in the middle of this court. How fares this kingdom that is no longer yours? Boo. Like, he was like, yeah, off this throne. At that moment, that was it. That sealed the king's fate, basically. Yeah, I do need to make a wiki. Truly, I do. There's a lot that happens. This is just one tiny segment of what all of the worlds that I've been putting together here. But yeah, it was a big deal. So then, when, like, I don't know what happened to the doll yet, but the doll had color in this story. And the last time I've seen the doll, it had absolutely no color. Like, it is, well, not absolutely no, it was black and white. I don't know what happened, but I believe that the king, trapped in this doll form, retained consciousness for all of these hundreds of years, or however long it's been. Actually, I need to find out what time I saw. But yeah, something has happened to that doll. Like, that is a cursed looking doll at this point. But yeah. But yeah, no, child had his own motives. King had his own motives. The daughter, like, when you saw like the queen heard that the child was coming to the courts, she took her baby and ran to the courts. That's because she knew who the child was. That child is her grandpa, basically. And she knows if anybody's gonna stick up for her, it's gonna be Grandpa Child. She knows that you know, he's been in her corner. So she went immediately to court. But yeah, it's a really interesting. So there's a lot going on in this book. A lot. Standalone, it has its own purpose. It has its own motive and its own tale to tell and things you can think about just regards to who you need to become. Like who you need to become and how you need to become it, or whatever. One of the biggest failings that the child had, in my opinion, was not being part of the court. The king would have listened to him. We have like, you know, the very, very beginning, the king was like getting counselors and stuff. And sassy Grandpa Child, yeah. So the king was getting counselors, and he even took the scroll and he read it. Like, he was willing to listen. But the child was all, I have no need for a place in your council. I don't really feel like staying here in one place. I don't call any place my home. I'm not gonna chill with y'all. Had Michael stayed for 3 years, at max 5, the king never would have become the villain that he became. Had Michael stayed and made himself a part of the kingdom and went through it with this king and went through the hardship of helping this king out, the king would have listened. he never would have become the villain he became. Instead, the child antagonized him constantly the whole way through the story and turned the king into a villain and then became the hero and then left a power vacuum on the throne. So there's that perspective of the story. There's a lot in this story that you can think of it from different perspectives. Was the king right? Wrong? The king was obviously doing really bad things. He obviously did not have compassion or empathy the way he needed to. But would you categorize him fully as evil, especially at the beginning? I wouldn't categorize him as evil. If anything, he was trying to be a protagonist. But it didn't work out, and he was trying to own up to his father's legacy, and it's hard to get out of the ingrained stuff that gets into you, and if he'd had guidance, you know, it's a lot to think about. There's a lot. I love this story. It's one of my favorites. All of my stories are my favorite, but I love this story. I'm glad that it's my current favorite right now. This works. That's what I meant to do. So Rin, you connected with the. Did you connect most with the king? Like the struggle the king had trying to measure up. Morally great characters, yeah. I think that's one thing. Like Ahmed and I have talked about that too, about how we all have like goods, but then we also have like that part of us that's like, you know, I could absolutely do this really wicked thing, and I can see myself doing it. I know it's bad or wicked, but I can see myself doing it quite vividly, actually. There's a reason why a lot of us actor types love playing villains, because it's relieving. We actually get an excuse to go do these awful things. It's terrible to say, but I'm just letting you know what it is. Like, there's some kind of release you get, and so it's I don't know, like we're very complicated people. And we'd have very complicated minds. From the larger perspective, the king acting in fear. I love to hear other people's perspectives, because I know you guys don't know my mind. So until I told you about all that, you didn't know all of the backstories of these people, and so you got to see it as like the overarching perspective and the king and fear. I love that. I love that. I mean, love Loki. Loki is like my baby. I don't care what iteration of Loki has ever been made. Loki has always been Loki and Wukong. Sun Wukong, the Monkey King. So I love both of them. They're like, they're super fun. I was looking for something and my brain totally forgot what it was. It's fine. We'll get there. Oh, right. I need to get back to Cybertron. Let's see. Which one do we want? What was the new one that dropped? This was the new one that dropped. I like their beats. They got that funky beat. I feel like funky beats today. My awful side of me is pure evil. I feel shame because of what you said. You know, I would say like I've long moved past my shame. I'm just like, you know, I am me. I know what I will and will not act on. There is a part of me that will be exacting hardcore cut the junk out of you and enjoy it. And I know that exists in me, so don't tick me off and harass me. But I'm, as a whole, the type of person who chooses to be here in a stream to encourage, and to encourage others to encourage, and to inspire and encourage others to inspire, and step out of your comfort zone and make art and post it and create stuff and do it and do videos and do games, and I love that. That's who I choose to be. I know I can be anything, be it really good or really evil, but I choose to be this right here. And I like that. So I have no shame. Put the art of the characters in chat. Yes! Alright, let's finish this girl's skirt. She's great. I take forever to do literally anything. Like I'm over here on this jet, like, I'm gonna do this piece today. I managed to draw an entire kid in an hour. But I've been talking, and it's fine, because it's important to me. Because I've been really, 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 really pondering how much I want to... I think a wiki is probably really smart. So there's Rin and Ahmed and Double Trouble and Benadryl. Like, I don't know how best to develop the interest I need to develop in my books. So the first novel, the story of Michael's mother and what happened with her and Elu, the Prince of the Stars. I have that entire book done, but I can't get representation for it if I don't have a community. So I started coming back to YouTube to try and like figure out what kind of community I'm going to do. I'm all over the place, but that's totally fine. I like that. But I was like, this isn't exactly everything. Like, it's good for me to be able to talk with people who play games or do art or whatever. Because y'all are kind of like me. Like, you enjoy escaping into other realities, and you get it. You understand what it's like to like need that shot of dopamine, because sometimes the life out here is so yeah, like I was like, yeah, these are my people, you know. But it's not enough, because it's not like I can't really reach other people with, like, I don't know, like, first of all, it's a lot of games right now is going on, and that's not really my books. Which I love doing games, and I'm gonna continue doing that, but you know, I don't really get to tell people about my books much, and I don't really know how to. Like, I wanted to, having a wiki sounds like a good idea, just so I can keep some of my characters straight, but then you also have to deal with, like, people trying to steal your ideas, so it's like this weird, like, there's a lot I haven't shown or published to people, because there are so many people out there who steal, like, the whole thing with the SCP Foundation that was happening, and that dude in, Russia or whatever, who was trying to, like, legally gain all of the rights to it, or the stupidity that was. But, like, I've copyrighted my stuff, I have, but that doesn't mean that somebody with more money and more people available to them and more clout won't be able to just see my stuff, steal it, and rename it to something, and, like, you know what I mean? You couldn't possibly do it the way I do it, because you haven't seen my worlds. I've seen them. I've visually seen them. You guys haven't. So it's not like somebody can steal it and do it as well as I could, but somebody with more resources could start producing things that I can't produce yet, because I don't have the resources, and it could be years before I reach that level, and what do I do? You know? And so it's like, on one hand, if I tell you about my worlds, you'll understand and be like, oh, it's cool, I totally want to see more. Right? Because it's awesome. But, and like, without me saying it, nobody's going to want to see more. And so I don't get the community that I need in order to publish the thing in the first place. But if I don't give anything, then I also don't get the community. And yay, I have the stuff all mine, but I can't do anything with it because nobody will represent it. So it's this weird balancing act I gotta, like, figure out as I'm going. I missed 2 messages, but I thought I saw the melon room. What? How? Oh! Let me know about some of your favorite new characters and Blood Moon Archbishop. Let me read that correctly. Tell you about some of the favorite new characters you made in Blood Moon Archbishop? Who is the brother of the... The Blood Moon Archbishop. Okay, I can read. I'm so sorry. That's on me. That's not on you. I just can't read. Blood Moon Archbishop, who is the brother of the Blue Mist Wizard. Even though they are both siblings, they hate each other. Oh, it sounds like Shock and Dash from My Stories. Don't worry, I'll get to that later. Which demigod in Elden Ring is going to be my favorite? Oh, look, I am looking forward to playing Elden Ring so badly. But that $100 I don't have, baby. Oh boy. So I was out for an entire week because I was sick. And then it snowed, so then I was out for basically another week. The schedules that they gave me, I wasn't able to go to work because they closed the store. So I had like a $200 paycheck on one of my, like, 2 weeks. $200. I was like, there's no way in heck. So I'm like, whoo. So then, like, I finished Bloodborne, and I was like, I want to play Elden Ring. I can't contribute $100 to that Elden Ring right now, baby. There is no way. I have stuff in savings, but it's not for a $100 video game. But I do want to play Elden Ring, so we will be doing that. As soon as it either goes on sale or I work my money back, because I need to, like, overwork for a little bit and get my money back. But the Blood Moon Archbishop and Blue Mist Wizard. Blood Moon Archbishop, Blue Mist Wizard. Those are really interesting, like, just concepts for the names, honestly. So, what are their, what are they? That's in the world where, like, you kill a god and, like, eat it or something like that? Is that what happened? Like, you gain the power of the god that you kill? I'm so sorry. I might be misremembering how that works. If you can't figure out how to make a post or what pose. Oh, how to make a pose or what pose you want the character in. Get reference, yes. But yes, not cheating or copying. You are correct. Absolutely, 1000% DT. So, I definitely tell people, like, honestly, tracing other people's work will teach you how to do art so much faster than you think it will. And it's like, I'm not saying publish the traced picture as your own, but trace other people's work, and it teaches you all the little things you didn't realize you weren't thinking about, and then you go and draw it again on your own, and it's a really good way to do it. To do a lot. So, how do Webtoons folks do that? They put out their stuff. So, Webtoons has their own copyright that goes with it. You have your own copyright because you posted it's your stuff. You can monetize it. I actually did a webtoon comic for a little while called Superstars Inc., which I do want to get animated. Don't worry about it. But yeah, Webtoon has things in place for you, and it's your stuff, and you know, it's a pretty good environment, honestly. Not a lot gets too stolen from there, really. 4chan tells you to do that with anime. Webtoons, yeah, Webtoons is a good launch pad for a lot. The Blue Mist Wizard and Blue Moon Bishop are two characters born from the Mother of Moons. Oh, so they loved each other growing up, but then they ended up having different goals, and the goals went against each other. Ah. So I have two characters named Shock and Dash. They're twins, and they're like 80 years old when you finally see them in my book. You don't see them in this, but I will be writing a short story about them because they're really fun. But one goes into biotechnology, the other goes into Magus technology, and both technologies don't mix. And so they're both like genius, smart, but they hate each other because their stuff goes against each other's principles and other stuff. So they grow apart. So after they're like 20, they leave the house, they split up. and then they don't see each other for like 60 years, and then they're forced to come to the same convention because they have to. They meet up, and something suddenly clicks, and they're like, oh, we could, oh, no, 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 no. And then suddenly these two 80-year-old twins who haven't talked to each other in 60 years go and like launch this whole project that takes the entire world to the next level of technology, which is so cool. They made like a fusion project of their strengths. They lived for like another, like, I think it was like 3 or 5 years, something like that. They didn't live too much longer after that, but within that short amount of time, they got so much done that it changed the entire world, like reshaped the way the entire world did technology. So I thought that was fun. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, but Shock and Dash, they're very fun. And that's their nicknames. I don't remember what their true names are anymore. They're written down somewhere, but I liked their, it's fun. So, what would be the writer's version? Wattpad? Maybe. So, I have been told to use Wattpad, and I have just not. And I don't really know why. I don't know. I think I should probably look into it more, as this does come up multiple times. I guess there's a certain presentation style that I wanted to have with my books and my stories. And I feel like neither Wattpad nor Webtoons is that execution. So this is my my fourth Tale of Divana, my fifth book that I'm publishing on Amazon. But the Tales of Divana series are all fables, basically. They're set in these other worlds. I think this one and the one with Lidea and the little girl with the talking fish, Liz's Choice. And then Desmond Death Flores, the one with the flower, the poisonous flower. Those three are all set in Riyadh. And then there's Miki's Dream, which is set in a specific area that I will not disclose right now. But it's linked-ish to Riyadh, and you will understand that later. I'm not going to explain that. But it's linked to other places too. So you've got Desmond Death Flores, the poisonous flower. You've got Miki's Dream, the little Omi creature who didn't develop like everybody else did. You've got Liz's Choice, the little girl who grew up in a carnival who didn't know what happiness was. And then you've got this story, the doll. And the doll is probably the most adult out of all of these stories. And they are more or less young adult picture books. They're fables. Nobody writes fables anymore. Nobody's asking for fables. But they qualify more in the fable way. But even then, they're not even a fable. They're just, I don't know how to describe them. So they're not, they're marketable, but they're not marketable by today's market people who market things. So I don't have a spot for them. I just have Amazon. And then this to let you guys know that it exists. But I don't know. I gotta figure it out. Maybe I'll make a platform. You know, I know programmers. Maybe I'll make a platform that works for people who do picture books that are weird. I don't know if anybody else does my style of work. I'm a weird person. Tales of Divana, if anybody is wondering what the series is called, because I make it so easy to look up. I'm just kicking myself in the butt, that's what it is. Ahmed has some stuff going on. Explain their characters and personalities and how they look. Blue Mist Wizard, the wizard who has the eyesight. Ooh, that's gonna be awesome. It's literally made out of rocks from the moon. Oh! Do they just have one moon on this one? Or wait, this one is like a fusion of like our world and like a bunch of other like times and stuff, right? The Blue Mist Wizard also has ice magic, and he is an old man who seems grumpy. But deep down, he cares for everyone around him. Aww. Even his brother, who goes against his goals. He also drives a flying motorcycle. Yee! The Blue Mist Wizard also has a white beard, and he looks like Gandalf. He looks like Gandalf, but with ice. I like that. I gotta see. So now I have Ice Gandalf on motorbikes. And I am eternally happy. Anthology. Yes, this is a good way to put it. So using that platform can get an audience. You need maybe some, like a grand reopening. Brick and mortar. Yeah. Yeah. I need to utilize what already exists. I really do. And you are right, Rin. That's thank you. I probably really should use Wattpad. I should do what I can with what is available right now. Honestly. I love your mind, Ahmed. You are forever. Look, that's why we fit. You fit here, and it's totally great. We only accept weird here and strange. But also normal, because normal is also weird and strange to me. I find my characters funny. I love it. I love your characters, dude. I love your characters. I really do. They are so fun. Gandalf on motorbike. Dude, I'm really looking forward to seeing what you do with your stuff. Like, for real. I know you said you want to wait. I'm gonna let you wait. I'm not gonna, like, pressure you to do anything, but I look forward to it. I do. I look forward to what you do, for what you create, what you make. It's so freaking awesome. I love that you have been at this, writing for however long. You've got seasons written. That's just such an accomplishment. That's such an accomplishment. So just please do keep writing. Please keep writing. I should probably, like, I've given up on trying to draw anything else on the screen, but that's fine. I had fun. This gave me motivation to get the rest of my stuff done today, because I have class coming up that I have to leave for in about 15 minutes, which is fine. But this has been a difficulty to figure out what to do. I want to make a wiki. That might be cool. I don't know how much to put on the wiki. You know what I would like to do is something like how Welcome Home did. So if you guys, like, so this is what I have. So that's where that's my website. And that's where you can see my worlds, and you can see kind of who the Somnibus is, like what a Somnibus is, me. And like what's been going on in the life of the Chronicler. And you can see kind of what's been going on in the life of Liddea, because Liddea is a huge character right now. There's a lot going on with her. I'm hoping that we will get a resolution for what's going on with her life, because she keeps getting bounced between worlds, and I'm trying to figure out how to stop that for her. So there's that. But I think I'd like to do something like Welcome Home did, where they had like their own presentation, their own site. And I'm hoping that I can do that with C9 Prod, my website. And maybe I can do that in tandem with a wiki. Maybe. Anyway, this has been fun. This has been motivating for me. I'm gonna do my best. Okay, so here's my goal. Here's my goal this week. My goal this week is to actually finish these outlines. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just have 5 outlines left. And then I just need your suggestions. What should I do about background? Because I'm thinking something simple like this, honestly, doesn't detract from the story. I might do a little bit more background to it. Like, maybe, like, draw, like, a street, but I don't want to do, like, all of the buildings and everything. This isn't just about me being lazy and I don't want to draw buildings. I feel like this story, like, the way the art is simple, the way the story is simple, none of the people are named. It's the king, the child, the third queen, the daughter. You don't hear anything. You have charismatic speakers, stuff like that. You don't hear their names. It's part of the tone of the story. So I'm thinking just something simple like this is perfectly fine. But if you feel like this is kind of missing something, or you have some suggestions on how to make this better, I'm down to hear it. So pop that in the Discord and let me know. But welcome, new peeps. And welcome to the Discord, those who came. Thank you so much for being a part of the stream. Ahmed, I'm gonna read your comment first before I hit it. Oh, it's an old man on a unicorn wheel. Wow. And then he fell on the ground. This wizard was like, kids these days, they can't handle the good stuff. Ahmed, Ahmed, my little lefty thingy is for you. That's for you. I did that. I love it. It's great. I love your mind, Ahmed. This is the best. Simple goes well with the background. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna see how it all flows together, but the end of the outlines this week, that is my goal. That is my goal. That is my goal. I'm gonna meet my goal. I hope you guys meet your goals. Make your own goals for this week. Be awesome. Stay motivated. I love you guys. Thank you for joining us for the stream. Don't forget to like, even though you guys already liked it before you even got here, so I don't know what was going on, but that's a first for me, so thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I love you. But I will see you guys tomorrow for Hollow Knight if you guys want to come out, and some more Bloodborne DLC on Saturday. Stay gorgeous, peeps. Mwah! Hey, you joined! Yay! Alright, I will absolutely get on that. Yeah, I gotta go to class.